I made the same mistake that I think every single witch makes when they very first start witchcraft, and that is thinking you need to learn everything at once in order to start practicing. And I'm here to tell you don't. All it does is lead into overwhelm. You pick one topic, that branches out into like 10 different things. Your mind is so overwhelmed. I honestly think that's why so many people give up. But the good news is that I'm here. I'm going to give you a 4-week roadmap of how I would do it if I started again, knowing what I know now 5 months down the line. Welcome back to A Little More Magic, where every spell starts with a little curiosity. Every journey begins with one step, and that is what we are going to do. We're going to take it one step at a time and hopefully bring a little bit more magic into your everyday life. If you're here, I'm going to assume you're just starting out on your witchcraft journey and you are in the perfect place. I've only been practicing for about 5 months now. I've only been calling myself practicing witch for about 2 weeks because that seemed really intense. And this isn't about me teaching you. This is just sharing my journey, what I've learned, what I've done that I wouldn't do again, just to help you guys on it and just for us to all grow together. There is so much out there. There is tarot, there are incense, there are daily rituals, there are big rituals, there is glamour magic, there is moon magic. It blows your mind. There is colour magic. Honestly, the amount of journaling and stuff I did, that is what I would recommend straight away, is ordering some journals off TikTok. I started just like with the really thin ones that you used to get when you used to go to school, and now I've gone into like bigger journals because I know much more like what I actually want to document, whereas I liked the little thin ones before because I could just rip out pages and I could just start again, or I could just move pages to like different places. But you need a pen and you need some paper because you are going to be learning a lot throughout this journey. So in week 1, you're really going to identify what you're drawn to, because it took me probably 2 or 3 months to get to that point, and I got so stumped to my journey, and I was posting videos being like, I just don't really understand like what I'm meant to be doing, what I'm drawn to. And so many people just went, well, just go with what you resonate with. So I set myself a little task, which I have shared on my TikTok. It's the same usernames over here, A Little More Magic, if you do want to check out my TikTok as well, because I share a lot more like short form content over there. I will put a list of words on the screen either side of me, take note of them, and then just circle what you are drawn to, because that was absolutely revolutionary for me, to be honest with you, because I could see like where I was drawn to, what I've always worked with. Immediately I learn how to progress my practice, and there aren't very many people telling you this. I can tell you that because I have watched hours and hours of videos, read books, and nobody had told me to do that. And then I would just find your intention. What is your main intention? When I first started out, I was in a massive healing journey, so I wanted protection, and I was also in a lot of debt. I'm still in some debt, but I am gradually paying that off, and I did manage to manifest some money, which I'm very impressed with because of the shift in my energy through going through this. I've tried so many times to manifest money before and it hasn't worked. Your energy is very important, and we're going to get into that later. So identify your intention. So if it's abundance, look at herbs and things that correlate to abundance. Look at a crystal, or the best thing I think for crystals when you're very first starting out, if you don't have any already, is to go onto Amazon and get a chakra kit crystal, because you get 8 crystals, 7 or 8 crystals in there, and then you've generally got one for like each intention anyway. So that was my biggest like beginner's tip, was go onto Amazon and get yourself a chakra crystal kit. And there is also beginner packs of like herbs and things like that, which are really good as well. Don't buy loads of one thing. I still have tiny packs of herbs that I've used in all my spells within like the last like 5 months that still look like they're barely touched. So once you've identified what you're drawn to, that's how you're going to practice. So if it's the moon, you're going to start looking into like the moon phases, what sort of intentions you should be working with. We're not talking about spell work just yet. Like, I know everyone wants to get like stuck in. The first thing I did do was a protection spell, a very basic candle protection spell. So if you do want me to do one of those for you, then please let me know in the comments, because I'm more than happy to do that, because that is the first like spell that I did. If you're someone that's more drawn to herbs and things like that, but you already cook, then look at what the herbs are that you already cook with. Look at their magical properties. When you're making your dinner, talk your intentions into them. It is these very small little steps in the beginning which are going to get you to the place you want to be in. But if you skip these tiny steps, you're not going to understand the principles and the foundations. That's going to be your first week, and then you're going to carry those things over throughout the rest of your journey. The amount of journaling I do these days is absolutely wild. I just want to learn everything. Once I start reading about a topic, I'll start looking into it, I'll make notes on it. I have a commonplace journal, I have a witchy journal, I have a spell journal. Like, there is journals everywhere at this point. Talking of which, everybody on my TikTok always goes mad about this journal and its accessories. So if I can, I don't know if I can at this point, I will link this in the comments for you, so you can go through and have a little look at this, because whenever I get this out, everybody goes mad for it. Now week 2 is going to be more about you. So like meditation, breath work, grounding. Go and get your feet like on bare grass if you can, or if you are in like a high rise or something like that, just put your feet on the ground, really focus. One of the best grounding exercises I started using right at the beginning, and I still use every single day now, is to sit wherever you are. If you can be outside, absolutely incredible. If it can be on grass or like dirt, bonus points for that. But I'm in a flat, so I will, majority of the time, I'll put my feet just on the floor, barefoot, close my eyes, I take some deep breaths, and then I imagine roots going down into the earth. Your feet feel like they get heavier and heavier, and then you're just imagining it going right through to the center of the earth. Whilst you're breathing, whilst you're visualizing that, not everyone can visualize, just think about it. And then that is going to be your real grounding. So you can do that at the beginning of the day, you can do that at the end of the day, you can do that before your meditation, you can do it after your meditation. I would really recommend meditation to every single person, because meditation changed so much for me, but it took me years to get to the point that I'm at now. So don't think like if you meditate once and you can't visualize, it's not for you. You've just got to really focus on it. I really highly recommend Joe Dispenza's meditations. His voice is a lot, they're a bit intense, but it works. It gets you into a trance, and it's the only meditation still to this day I've ever visualized with. Also, when you're doing your journaling, gratitude. First thing when you wake up in the morning, you want to be saying 3 things that you are grateful for, and last thing before you go to bed, 3 things you are grateful for. That is the biggest mind shift. And along with my previous tips of slowing everything down, we are in such a rush, and I was the biggest person in the biggest rush all the time. I had no time to think, I had no time to breathe, I had no time to do anything. Everything I was doing was a rush. Slow it down. It's going to take a little while, you've got to keep catching yourself out, but whatever you're doing, slow it down. Some people like to do morning journal pages. I don't have enough time to do it, but I'm going to give you 3 prompts that you can do in a journaling page at any time of the day. So we're going to do, how do I feel today? What am I grateful for? What energy do I want to bring into today or tomorrow, depending on what time of day you're doing it. Shadow work is also something that's going to become very, very important to you, and I'm going to give you loads of shadow journal prompts in a video in a couple of weeks' time. So going into week 3, you're going to have identified your intention, identified what you want to practice with, what you're drawn to. You're going to be in touch with yourself, doing your meditation. I only meditate probably like twice a week, to be honest with you. I was probably doing it more to begin with, but I just don't physically have the time. You're going to be doing your breath work, you're going to be doing some journaling, you're going to just be getting to grips with kind of that everyday mundane magic. And this is when you're going to introduce some daily rituals. These are my favourites, because this is what I do consistently every single day, pretty much 90% of the time without fail, but there's days when you just can't get stuff done, and that's okay. I'm going to give you some ideas of stuff that you can just incorporate into your everyday life at that week 3 point, or if you're a little bit more further along in your journey, then integrate them now. So every single morning I have an aura cleansing shower. That is just a normal shower, but in that shower I'm visualizing everything washing out of me. I do this in the evening as well to get rid of all that energy throughout the day. So everything is washing out of me, and I literally get my hands and I'm washing it away and I'm getting it off of me. I then close my eyes, I visualize a bright yellow, white, pink, whatever kind of light that you want. I wouldn't go for a red one, that's just me personally. Red just says danger to me. So I'd visualize that light. I then say I let go of everything that no longer serves me, and then I refill myself. I say, make space and fill up with good intention or good energy or with abundance or with grace or with kindness, because if you're banishing like your energy, you don't want to leave it open to when you go outside it being filled up again. You need to fill up that space first. A really great protection one for when I leave the house is I imagine myself with like a gold cloak on, and I actually work in dentistry, so I'm exposed to like a lot of energy throughout the day, and it's not good energy. No one likes to come to the dentist, right? So I imagine before I go into work, before I leave the house, if I'm going somewhere, I imagine myself putting a cloak on, and that does protect my energy quite a lot. You can also veil if you want to. I've just got like a little hairband on today, but you can use like a hoodie in the winter to veil if you're in somewhere like really like highly energetic. I listen to Ring My Bell in the shower as well. I light an incense in the morning. I light a protection candle in the evening. I am working with a deity. I'm working with her Karte, and she has been absolutely incredible to me. But even if you're not, when you light that protection candle in the evening, or any kind of candle, just talk out what has happened throughout the day, or light the candle and a couple of hours later, go and debrief to the candle. The candle with energy, like honestly, just trust me on this, because you're gonna feel crazy, but welcome to the club. Like, you just need to talk it out. It's not like praying. If you want to pray, you can pray. If you're from that sort of like religious background, you're moving into this sort of like area and praying feels more familiar to you, do it. I wasn't from a praying background, so I like to like talk things through. Like I'll say like I felt really anxious today, I let go of that. I felt really stressed today, I let go of that. I start the day tomorrow feeling much more clear-headed, much more productive. I blow the candle out. It is so therapeutic. Highly, highly recommend. Everybody should be doing that. When you're making a tea or coffee in the mornings, if you drink tea or coffee, stir it. Stir it clockwise for abundance and like bringing things in. If you're trying to get rid of something, stir it anti-clockwise. Talk it into your tea or coffee, drink your tea or coffee, or do it to a glass of water. Water is the biggest portal, so do not underestimate water. Take a 10-minute walk outside. If you can get your feet on grass, touch grass. I just can't tell you how much good that does for you. And these little daily habits, honestly, they just pick up so easily. Journaling, the gratitude, incense, lighting the candles, and then it is going to build to bigger things, but these daily practices are what is going to keep you grounded and what's going to keep you focused long term. Now going into week 4 is where I'd say you want to do like a basic protection candle spell. So I would just get like a white candle. The last one I did, I got a lemon, I cut it in half, I got a white spell candle, I put it into the cut in half lemon, I put some salt on the lemon, and then I got some rosemary and I sprinkled it. I did a protection sigil into the candle, just drawing it with something that's a little bit sharp, but you don't need to do that. You could just hold the white candle into your hands, close your eyes, deep breaths, say your intention that you want to be protected. Any things that align with your higher self can come into your boundaries, all those sorts of things. It doesn't need to be really specific language. I just used to talk to Hecate, and when I was doing all my enchanting and I was doing all my charms and stuff, I just used to use normal language. I just got, I really want to be protected. I am feeling really anxious. I want protection against my anxiety. I want to let go of my anxiety. I want to be kinder. I just used to literally say that. It doesn't need to be dramatic and it doesn't need to be overthought, because that will come. The more you do it, somehow the language just starts to develop. And then light that candle and then just watch it burn. Most of those candles burn for about an hour, hour and a half or something. You don't need to watch it. You don't need to sit there and physically watch it, because this is what so many people say. You can go, you can leave the room, you can go out, you can, no, don't go out because obviously the house might explode. Not explode, it might set on fire. My Lord, this is spiraling, it's escalating. I might cut this bit out, I might leave it in, we'll see. Let's wind that back a little bit. So you're gonna light the candle once you've all set it up. Somewhere nice and safe and you're not gonna leave the house. Light the candle, sit there for like 5 to 10 minutes, meditate with it if you can. I always like to meditate with my candles, just because if I put the intention into the candle, then I go into a meditation, I just feel like it really, really cements it down. But you don't need to meditate. You can just close your eyes, deep breaths, focus on that intention, and then just leave the candle to burn. Some people say you have to leave it to burn out. Some people say you can blow it out. I just go with what I want to do at the time, to be honest with you. Sometimes I like to blow a candle out because I feel like with protection, if I blow the candle out, it's gone. Like, not the protection's gone. I just feel like it's just, yeah, like the boundary's there almost. But do what you think. If you think if you blow that candle out, all the protection you have generated has been then blown away, obviously just wait for it to go out or just stop it out. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't compare yourself to others in similar journeys. You don't know people's circumstances. The only reason I've had so much time to really commit to my craft and advance as quickly as I have is because me and my partner did break up. So I now get Friday night and Saturday daytime and Sunday evening where I can really commit myself to my craft. If my little boy was still here full time, there's no way in hell I would be as advanced as I am in those 5 months. The journey is so much fun, but be respectful, be mindful, be kind, and your journey will evolve. I hope this roadmap has helped and that it makes you feel like it is a little bit more manageable now. If you want me to do like weeks 5 to 8, then please let me know in the comments and I will. Also, let me know which week you're most excited about and let me know what you're drawn to as well in the comments. I want to hear from you guys because honestly, I love sharing my journey and I love to hear what you guys are up to as well. Please do subscribe to the channel as well because I want to be able to keep on sharing all these tips and tricks with you guys and just us go through this journey together.